Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about conditional statements. So what I'm mostly talking about and what we're mostly going to be looking at are what are called if-then statements. For instance, if the light is green, then you go. Obviously, we're just sitting here talking about a traffic light, but I'm going to be using this example here for all of the different terms that we're going to be seeing today. So first off, we have hypothesis, and hypothesis is often represented by a P, and it just means whatever statement we have after the if. So for instance, the hypothesis in this if-then statement would be the light is green. So our hypothesis here is the first portion of it, whatever we have just after if and before the then. And our hypothesis for this first statement here is the light is green. The second part of this is what's called the conclusion, often represented by Q. And this is the statement after the then. So here, our conclusion would be, you go. And the way that we would write this out, let's say mathematically, would be P arrow to Q. What we mean is, if P, then Q. And we're going to be seeing some similar diagrams like this with some of the other terms that we're going to be seeing. So the first term we have here is what's called the converse. And for the converse, we switch the hypothesis and the conclusion. So for instance, we started out with, if the light is green, then you go. However, for the converse, we switch the hypothesis and the conclusion and we get, if you go, then the light is green. So we've just switched those two statements. And so rather than having if P then Q or P arrow to Q, we have the reverse. We have if Q then P. And we can see here that we have similar information, but we've just switched the order here. And that's what a lot of these terms are going to be. Next, we have what's called the inverse. We negate, or we make negative, both the hypothesis and the conclusion. So the inverse of our original statement would be, if the light is not green, then don't go. And writing this out mathematically, we have this little squiggly symbol here, and this just means the negative or the negation of. So if not P, then not Q. The last term we have here is what's called the contrapositive. And basically we're taking the last two things and putting together. So we're exchanging the hypothesis and the conclusion. So we're switching the places of P and Q, and they're also taking the negative of both our hypothesis and conclusion. So we're negating both things, and we're switching the places. And the contrapositive to our original statement would be, if you do not go, then the light is not green. And so this is our last term here. We're going to be looking at different examples of these for the problems that we're doing, and you're also going to have to create examples of each of these for the problems that we're doing.